All right, we do have team coverage this morning of the winter storm, but we also have Dylan Rivera with the Portland Bureau of Transportation on the line with us this morning. So Dylan, thanks for chiming in on the Zoom there. I don't even know where to start because there are so many situations I guess we could cover as far as the roads go in and around the Portland area. What is the area of biggest priority for your team this morning?
We are really trying to focus on the busiest streets, the emergency routes that TriMet and police and firefighters and first responders, like ambulances that they need. And the challenge is we've just challenges everywhere. We've got abandoned vehicles downtown and in Southwest blocking us. We're starting to get some downed trees blocking our plows. It's still a mess out there, and it is just not a good day for folks to be on the roads.
So Dylan, you obviously have an all-call with your crews. And tell us how many crews are out there. Even with that, this is going to be an all-day process and then some?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Just to get all of our crews in, to get all 55 plows on the streets. We've had some of the same challenges that folks who were stuck in traffic last night had. One colleague, it took him 4 hours to get into Portland from Beaverton, going different routes and encountering road closures along the way and having to divert and go somewhere else. And, vehicles blocking traffic right and left. So just getting to the yard here to get in a snowplow has been a challenge for folks. So it is really just challenging conditions out there. It's going to take us a while to get out of this.
Can I ask you one more question, Dylan, while we have you? We're also showing a map at times during this interview, and the map has some blue on it. It has some purple on it. I'm sure you're familiar with the map I'm talking about. There it is again right next to you on the screen. So can you just let our viewers know what the blue represents and what the purple represents this morning?
Oh yeah, so the blues are snow and ice routes. Those are the routes where you'll see snow plows. The thicker pink lines, those are the salt routes. Those are about 120 miles of salt routes. I believe we've hit all those. We've treated those, and those are the routes that are going to be thawing the fastest. And then the thicker light blue, that's where we use the mag chloride. Those are the anti-icing routes, the liquid de-icer, and that has not been as effective with this event because we started with some rain before the snow, and so that's not great for de-icer. But those are the routes, and you'll be seeing a shift change, and so you'll see those vehicles coming in closer to the yard here in North Portland, and then fanning back out over the next couple hours. So you can see our crews working for you in real time. Please give them lots of room out there.
Yeah, that's a good reminder, Dylan. We have been chatting about weather for many, many years, you and I. I've been doing this about 30 plus years, and unfortunately, this storm was the worst case scenario for everybody. I don't really remember so many different freeways and side streets and people getting stuck at this magnitude. So maybe it's quantity as well as a number of inches that we got. But Dylan, maybe you can speak to this. Anytime people leave their house expecting that the snow is going to be in the upper elevations and then they get stuck, this is the kind of avalanche, no pun intended, that results in that because they are not prepared and then everybody is in a pickle.
Oh yeah, it's a domino effect of one thing. A couple of drivers encounter slick conditions earlier than they were expecting. Maybe they weren't expecting. They weren't maybe prepared. They didn't have chains or front wheel drive or other things that could help them up a snowy hill, and then they get stuck. Then everyone gets stuck behind them. Then maybe there's a fender bender, and then maybe there's a large truck or other vehicle that adds to the congestion, and then it just kind of cascades from there. I remember about 15 years ago, there was one a storm where downtown you could walk through, and the southbound streets were all backed up into downtown. The northbound streets were free-flowing traffic. The southbound streets were all blocked up because there were large vehicles jackknifed on Barber that up in the hills that had blocked traffic all the way into downtown, and so it can be a rippling effect of different factors, and snow ahead of the evening commute is just one of the worst. I mean, it really is one of the worst scenarios, and then a surprise on top of that. When you know it's coming, it's bad enough, and that would be challenging. If someone said, okay, 10 inches Wednesday afternoon and evening, that historic level magnitude of event would be a whopper. But then to have it be a surprise earlier than anyone expected just made it a real doozy.
Yep, weather sometimes presents a challenge. We certainly saw that yesterday, Dylan. We do appreciate you getting up this early.